Welcome, everyone. This is Charmed Live, the live podcast. My name is Tricia Carr, and I am your host. This podcast is all about magic, metaphysics, mysticism, and the unconditional love of the universe. And I'm just so happy to be here with you. We're doing this each and every week now on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Pacific, and I might start adding some more dates. So the best thing for you to do is to subscribe to this channel, and then you'll be able to stay up to date on everything that we have going on this channel. And you can also find it as a podcast by finding Charmed Life with Tricia Carr. That's my name. And on the audio version, I add something extra. I'll put some kind of teaching after the conversation that I have with my special guest, or sometimes there's just full solo episodes on the podcast as well. So there's a good reason and a value, I think, to watching it in the replay on the YouTube channel or live on the YouTube channel, and then also listening to the podcast. So welcome, welcome. I want to invite you also to like, subscribe, share, comment, and click the little bell so you get notifications for when we're going to be doing this or when I publish other videos. Also check the show notes because my very special guest, who I will be introducing in just a moment, we have all of their links there, as well as the ones that I have, many things that I'm offering. And so I'm going to take just a moment to tell you about those because they're very exciting. I have, oh, sorry, pardon me while I grab the link. This is live. This is what happens live. So I have a few really exciting offers right now. They're all education, personal, spiritual development, very much spiritual development. I want to tell you first about the animal communication course. It is starting on August 20th. So today is, what is it, the 10th? So it's starting, in 10 days. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I just realized I was thinking it was 2 weeks away. It's 10 days away. And it's actually, even though it's 10 days away, there's two reasons why you want to go ahead and sign up now. One is because there is a pre-registration cost, lowered cost. It's like $200 off. So you definitely want to grab that. Also, because there is a free bonus course that is a preparation. It's animal and nature intuitive and connecting with animals in nature. So that's a way you can start to prepare yourself for it, where there's meditations and lessons that are already there for you. Now, this is a 6-week course, or it's a 6-module course that we actually do 3 weeks, then we take a break and we do 3 weeks. So you get to integrate on that gap week. And it is experiential, meaning that we are having experiences, we are meditating, we are learning together, we are coming together as a community, and it is so beautiful. The reason I do this is because I'm just blown away and so in love. Let's call it addicted to seeing people's transformations, going from thinking that animal communication, being able to telepathically communicate with animals, like, really? People do that? Well, I've never done that, to being able to, after just a couple of, weeks, and they're doing some practice with some other beautiful, like-hearted people, to where they're actually connecting with an animal and pulling through information that saves their life. The animal telling them something like, "No, I don't have a big medical issue. I just need my water bowl changed. You don't have to take me to the hospital." Seriously, that's one of my most recent stories that came from the last iteration of this. And so I want you to really check that out. If you love animals and you love spirituality and you're a spiritual seeker and you love spiritual community, then this program is for you. So there's that. And then also check the show notes for the Easy Intuition and Meditation course. This is a 30-day journey that's passive, extremely low cost, a beautiful program of meditations and easy to digest and really inspiring lessons to connect you with your intuition and to help you to fall in love either again or for the first time with meditation. And we're having a great time in that too. There's another bonus meeting. The live sessions are bonus that I'm adding here and there, and we have another one coming up toward the end of the month. Finally, one more, and that is the Empowered Empath. This is near and dear close to my heart because I believe right now we need empaths more than ever. Also, a very low cost and very inspired program. So check those out at your leisure. And now I want to bring on my guest. I'm so excited to get into a conscious and beautiful conversation with my guest. Her name is Winnie Wang. Welcome, Winnie. Nice to see you.
Hi, Tricia. I'm so excited to be on the Charm Live podcast. And, if you're tuning in live, please drop an emoji and let us know which part of the world you're tuning in from. I love
Yeah.
to engage with the audience. And I just want to say a couple things about Tricia's offering. It
Mhm.
is so amazing that she's offering this animal course in communication. It's so funny because yesterday I was in the office and there was a fly. And
Uh,
if you don't know how to communicate with the fly, you would be really annoyed. Like, why is there a fly in my office?
yeah.
Instead of trying to kill the fly or be annoyed by the fly, so my boyfriend actually communicated with the fly and say,
Oh.
hey, there's no food here.
Oh.
Do you want to get out? And the fly said, yes, I want to get out. And then my boyfriend opened the door and then the fly went right out. And then I was like, wow, we don't actually have to kill the fly. We just communicate with the fly. I said, there's nothing for you here. And then he's like, okay. And then the
Oh.
fly went out. So literally, I can give a testimony that we can talk to animals. And one time in my office, one of my clients brought me her dog. The dog had a lipoma.
Mm.
And, I'm a healer. And so, it's really funny too, because I have 4 science degrees
Mhm.
and I'm like the valedictorian of my med school. So I have all this brain power, but then I've never studied one day of animal anatomy, right? I don't know where the
Mm.
animal spine is or
Yeah.
organs or whatever. I'm like, okay, if my client brings me a dog, that's because the universe says, when you just let your ego get out of the way,
Yeah.
healing energy is healing energy. Doesn't matter you don't have a degree in healing animals. So I said, okay, universe, if I can heal animals, let this miracle happen. And literally, the dog communicated to me a message. The dog said, you have to change my diet.
Yes.
And literally, okay, so first of all, during the session, the lipoma shrunk like 50%. And then
Oh.
afterwards, 3 weeks later, my client comes back and tells me, you have no idea. My dog started jumping and leaping in joy in
Mm.
ways that I haven't seen in years just by changing the diet. And so, yeah, so for all of you who are interested, you got pets, cats, dogs, definitely check out Tricia's course. I'm so excited that you
Oh.
offer this. And also, the meditation course, I also want to give a shout out. So, my whole life, for the first 37 years of my life, I was just one science degree after another, completely cut off from spirituality, meditation. And then the universe sent me a near-death car accident.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then obviously I didn't die, but I remember going into the car accident and I was looking at the car. 3, 2, 1, impact. And
Mm.
I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember at the time of the impact that I had all these grudges and anger about
Mm.
all the things that I think should not have happened in the past, my traumas. In the meantime, I had all these things that I worry about in the
In the
future.
future. Yeah.
So I was living in the past and the future and everywhere but now.
Mm.
I have the opposite of the charm life. And because I didn't die, I understood I'm supposed to die, but I didn't, because in that moment, spirit came and said, it's not your time.
Mm.
Winnie, you haven't fulfilled your soul purpose. You came here with a big task and you haven't done it. So go do it.
Wow.
So after that, 10 days later, I had a second car accident. And
What?
yeah. And so I was like, okay, Winnie, this is clearly a sign from the universe. You have to change. And it's really great that we have this podcast because the podcast is actually a powerful transmission.
It is.
So
Yes.
I was talking to my girlfriend who's a healer, and she said, Winnie, years ago, I had two back-to-back car accidents. And then I started meditating every day and
Yeah.
reading The Power of Now and getting
Yeah.
to see a healer on a regular basis. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to copy her formula because there's no car insurance in the world that allows me to have a car accident every 10 days. So literally, I started meditating and then it changed my life forever.
Mm.
I started meditating every single day.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it was 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And before I know it, it became a habit. And sometimes now I can even enter a trance and just
Yes.
meditate for like hours.
Mhm.
And it is in the meditation where we can unlock this charmed life. And it's really funny. I want to talk about my background as an Asian immigrant.
Yes, please.
The stereotype is true. Asians are really hardworking. Immigrants are very hardworking.
Yeah.
And my parents were refugee. My grandparents were refugee. So it's like if we unpack the ancestral karma, we've been living in scarcity, victim,
Yeah.
survival for generations. And when it got to me, first of all, my parents didn't meditate, they didn't practice any spirituality. And I was raised to believe everything I have depended on my own two hands and also
Mm.
my brain. To get anything in life, I need to work hard, work harder, and work harder than everyone else. Especially as a woman, I have the body of a woman,
Beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
Men is masculine, and the masculine energy is about building, it's about providing structure, about service. And the feminine energy is not about being productive. It's not about getting things done. It's not about solving problems. The feminine energy is about being,
Mm. Yes.
having fun,
Mhm.
about relaxing, and about the mysteries that connect us to the void, to the emptiness, from which infinite possibilities can be brought back into the present.
Yes.
So
Beautiful.
if you've never meditated a day in your life, maybe you should check out Tricia's course on the easy meditation, right? Literally, I'm
Yeah.
so excited because God, everyone should meditate, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It's n exactly, it's not just well, I'll tell you why else, because 'cause I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm a transpersonal hypnotherapist, transpersonal speaking to the fact that we are here to self-actualize the personal self, the feet on the ground from survival up to being able to fulfill your potential, and then we're here to transcend the self as well. That's what all of us are yearning for. What's my purpose? I mean, we need the personal fulfilled. Otherwise, we would be, bypassing if we tried to go around it. And really, the only way that any of us ever make changes in habits is by accessing the subconscious mind, which is done with hypnosis, and hypnosis or meditation is a form of hypnosis. So, whether we are having a meditation practice or not, the only way we really start to change things is somehow we did fall into hypnosis at some time and work with our subconscious mind. Fortunately, we have dreams and we have the going into and out of sleep that can naturally provide that for us too. But intentionally, every day as you're talking about making that contact with spirit. And if you wanted to have a relationship with someone, if you wanted to have a partnership with someone, you pretty much connect with one another every day, right? Like you your boyfriend. You connect with your boyfriend every day. And of course you want to, otherwise you wouldn't get to hear the stories of him communicating with a fly, which is so amazing. So, yes, it's so wonderful. So how wow, so you had 2 really very close calls, and that's what, I guess, woke you up? And how did your journey has your journey been going since then? What kind of work have you been doing? You have such a wonderful light, you're providing so much healing to us all, even by being here. I'd love to hear really the details of the work you are offering us.
Yeah, so I'm a hacker. One of my degrees is computer science, and I'm all about delivering the fastest, easiest, and cheapest solution to my clients.
Ah, that's great.
And very simply, the healing is about coming into soul, mind, body alignment.
Mhm.
And where you might want to take Tricia's course to learn how to meditate and communicate with animals, that's at the soul level. And you want to like, share, and subscribe and listen to this podcast, that's at the mind level, right? We're
Mhm.
engaging the mind
Yeah.
when we are listening to one another and
Mhm.
ourselves. And where my specialty is in the body,
Yeah.
because the body keeps the score.
Yes.
In other words, all of your blockages to living a charmed life is in the body, right?
Mhm.
The body is like the data,
Mhm.
right? I'm a scientist, I'm all about the data.
I
And
love it.
it's your report card.
Mhm.
So, first, I have this medical degree, and then I learned meditation. And somehow I became a medical intuitive where when clients come to me, I can just see where the blockages are.
Yeah.
So it's
Wonderful.
combining the science and the spirituality. And through the use of traditional Chinese medicine techniques such as acupuncture and other energetic techniques, I'm able to guide my clients in processing the trauma that is released in the body so that they can feel like $1,000,000, like they were meant to be, right?
Mm. Yes. That's amazing. And, yes, as I was saying, you're talking about the body, and the body is the subconscious mind. I mean, the somatic, uh, well that we hold of all of that data, that is actually the subconscious mind. And that was defined by Carl Jung. And I just wanted, because you mentioned it, I'm putting it in the chat here. The book, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, is everyone should read that. And you'll be able to really connect with what Winnie is talking about. I love that you're a medical intuitive. You have the medical degree and you're an intuitive. When people call themselves a medical intuitive, when they use the word medical and they don't, this is just me. I want to ask how you feel about that. I'm a little uncomfortable with saying I'm a medical anything if I don't have a medicine qualification. Although I guess Chinese, if you were qualified in Chinese medicine, that's also a qualification. Can you speak to what it's like to be a medical intuitive with all, I mean, you're marrying the science with the spirit, because we need both, don't we? What is it like for you?
I love that question. And I want to say that it's not me.
Mm, hmm.
I have to respect that I don't know what I don't know.
Right.
So, for example, it doesn't matter if I study 40 years more of medicine, right? If I'm a gynecology expert, I'm never going to be the specialist in orthopedics.
Hmm.
I'm never going to be the specialist in cardiologist. I'm never going to be the specialist in, dentistry.
Mm.
So part of this is having the humility, knowing actually I'm not the expert and I cannot be the expert.
Yeah.
There's always somebody who knows more than me. And so on one side of the coin, I can live my life feeling like I'm never good enough.
Mm.
I have this imposter syndrome because how can I give somebody a medical reading on dentistry or gynecology or cardiology, orthopedic, when I'm not the specialist. I don't perform surgery at their level.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of the coin is I am 2 steps ahead of the person I'm trying to help.
Yes, it's true.
If I am able to point them in the right direction, then I'm doing my job,
Mm.
right? I don't need to be the expert in the field. In fact, I love being in the state of not knowing and having a lot of friends, because sometimes my referral might be, girl, you need to, get your ass to a chemotherapy, because
Yes.
like this, you like woo woo medicine is not enough. You need chemo, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes my clients are like, oh, I don't want to take antibiotics. And I'm like, no, you need antibiotics. You're going to
Yeah.
get yourself killed, right? Sometimes it's like, I think the danger, some people, that there's a trap that, oh, like, well, isn't love supposed to melt all blockages? And if love melts all blockages, then why do we need antibiotics and chemo? But no, God created the scientists that created, everything, the vaccine, the antibiotics. And sometimes this saves lives. And sometimes this love is also literally melting your cancer.
Yeah.
And so, what I love about where I stand is I'm a lover.
Mm.
I'm a lover of all things science, and I'm a lover of all things spiritual. And I really believe that you can melt cancer with love. And I really do believe sometimes you do need chemo. And why can't we have it all, right? Why can't we fully love Western medicine and
Mm-hmm.
spiritual medicine? And so I really think my job actually is not to be an expert in medicine or in spirituality. My job is to be a lover.
That's great. Yeah, and I've been given a kind of perspective that is even logical about, of course, why we would need medicine too, because medicine is just a technology, It is, we have spiritual technology and we have other kinds of technology. And we live in a world and in a life and a paradigm that is we are partaking of advanced technologies that humans have developed, humans have, cultivated from what God has given us, and we've cultivated it. So it makes sense that sometimes we need the intervention that is also some kind of advanced technology that the humans have created and cultivated. It just makes sense, if we did live off the grid and on the land only, then maybe nature would just be everything taking its course. I don't know. I don't have any way to talk to someone who lives that way, and, so it makes even logical sense why we would need both sometimes, or one or the other more than the other one. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that. I agree.
And part of living a charmed life, I think, is practicing the feminine principle,
Mhm.
which is I have what I have and let's use it.
Yes.
Right? So AI is here, podcast is here, YouTube is here, StreamYard is here. So let's really, really love all the modern technology that there is. At the same time, we also have our ancestors,
Mhm.
the wisdom, that which is timeless and eternal. And yes, why don't we also fully embrace all the ancient practices of grounding,
Mhm.
smudging, and everything connecting to Mother Earth and Father Sky? We can have it all. And I think having a charm life, it's the secret is to be able to receive
Mm.
the totality of everything that's here and now,
Yes.
right? So it's
Yes.
like, yes to ancient technology, yes to all the modern technology.
Absolutely. And it's, interestingly, I'm in a mind body psychology program right now. And in the eco psychology lecture, they gave us a statistic that when there is connection, right, regular connection to nature, that it actually brings crime rates way down.
Mm.
And so we do need nature, and we need to feel the love of Mother Earth by being purely in nature, as and then of course we can come watch a podcast with AI and everything that's going on. Yeah. Would you like
I,
to tell us? Oh, sorry, go ahead, please. Yeah.
I just want to say, yes, hiking connects
Mm,
us to nature.
yeah.
But you know what else is nature? Humans are
It's true.
nature. So get this. I don't actually have to leave my house to connect to nature.
Mhm.
I can like stroke my face and be connecting to nature,
Yeah.
right? Like I can give myself a shoulder massage and
Yeah.
be connecting to nature. I can sink my teeth into an apple and be connecting to nature. So we are in nature. I can take a breath and be in nature. Nature is not a destiny. Like I need to leave
Mhm.
my house.
Yeah.
When I meditate and I meditate on the inhale and exhale breath, that is nature,
Mhm.
right? When I meditate and connect to my reproductive organs. That is nature. So nature is like I actually walk around with nature
Right.
24/7. I'm a
Yeah.
living being.
Yes, it's the state, exactly. And I know I've talked when I'm talking about grounding and teaching people about grounding, sometimes you can't go outside because the ground is frozen or it's blazing hot, but this table is made of wood, and me being mindfully connected to it, and so there's just earth, there's gravity that's holding me. So grounding, I guess we do have a tendency to be more to eat more easily shifted. We don't have the distractions that are here, like with the computer and the everything, and being outside with the beautiful breeze. But exactly, we can't get away from nature. We are nature, as you said, and everything that there's nothing that's not nature around us. So it is the state. It is the mindful state or the meditative state on that which is the qualities that we need. Yeah, thank you for
Massage your
that
feet.
reminder. Yeah, massage your own feet. That's
Yes.
great. You have an event coming up, I understand. I'm going to put the link up here for us. Tell us about the event. And is that no? That's the book. But well, tell us, since I already asked. Tell us about the event, and then tell us about the book. I want to hear about these.
So, one of the things that I'm very passionate about is that health and wellness belongs to the people regardless of income level.
Mhm.
So a lot of people have this idea that, okay, well, healing, why do you have to charge for healing? And so I really believe that there are different price points that we can help everyone.
Mhm.
For example, podcast is free, right?
Mhm.
So you are already, every time you listen to my podcast and Trisha's podcast, you're actually bathing in positive vibration. So that is a free resource where you can connect to your wellness.
Mhm.
And so I'm sure everyone that we have a range of private sessions that might be more expensive because we got to pay rent and we
Mhm.
have our own children to raise, and then we also have low price point events so that it can be more open to public. And for me, I helped found a nonprofit called Compassionate Transformation,
Mhm.
focusing on the well-being with alternative modalities such as traditional Chinese medicine, Reiki, and others. So, if you go to mindfulhealingheart.com/events, you'll be able to see all low price point or
Mhm.
free events that you can attend.
That's wonderful. Yes, yes. And that is a question that we hear sometimes. Why does healing need to be paid for? Well, I mean, we all kind of agreed on a monetary system. Maybe we'll turn back to bartering sometime, but bartering would be an energetic exchange. Really, nature seeks balance, and reciprocity is how we can actually be able to receive something. We do need to give something. I don't know. How would you like a world, Winnie? Can you imagine a world where it's bartering and not money or currency. It
Absolutely.
would be great, right?
I love both, you
Yeah.
know. If you got money, then I would very graciously appreciate you for giving me money.
Yeah.
But if you have time, I also graciously
Yes.
appreciate if you give me time. I always tell people, okay, if you can't afford my private session, you can volunteer to clean the toilet. You can volunteer to do the marketing,
Mhm.
right? You can volunteer to make phone calls for me. There, I am absolutely in for bartering. So
Yeah.
whatever services that you find, if you're interested in barter, definitely I'm all in. You know, you want to do some social media marketing for me, I love it.
Well, there's something really beautiful about that kind of bartering. It's more intimate, you know. There's something very sterile about money, and that's again okay because sterility and the cleanliness of that and just being able to make that exchange. But if someone does volunteer to, you know, support you with some actions with their time, then you're getting to know one another even more than just getting a deposit through Venmo or something. So there's really something beautiful about it.
I like I said, I'm a lover. I love money and I love donation of services, you know, whichever way, you know, energy is energy, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, that's wonderful. You have a book, it's coming out, right? It's on its way to come out? Oh, I'd love to
So
hear about it.
yes, so I have two books. The link that you
Mm,
drop, Honoring Darkness, is already out. It's
mm,
actually been out a little over a year, and it is the most powerful medicine because if we talk about soul, mind, and body,
mhm,
so the analogy I always say is people come to me, usually they already have cancer or they already have infertility, they already have a medical problem.
mhm,
But then it's like if you have a cavity and you go to a dentist, the dentist can take care of your cavity, maybe do a surgery of extraction removal. But then you have to figure out why you have the cavity in the first place,
yeah,
right? Did you eat too much chocolate? Do you not know how to brush teeth?
mm,
Right? So, shadow work is the process of looking at the things that you are doing that are leading to all these blockages you have in your health, your relationships, and your finances. So, talking about the charm life, nobody is a powerless victim to their health, their relationship, or their finances. You don't have to date the same guy every time. You don't have to date a cheater after cheater after cheater.
mm,
You don't have to live paycheck after paycheck after paycheck.
mhm,
What we do get to do is be really honest with ourselves, right? This is what shadow work is about. It's like, let's sit down and look at how I'm eating too much chocolate and not brushing teeth,
mhm.
right? This is like the recipe to produce cavities. So, this book, and I'm going to be vulnerable here. So, a couple years ago, um, the same year I got my car accident, I became a Reiki healer. And at that time, I was all love and light. And I just thought, oh, love and light, love and light, love and light. What I was actually doing was spiritual bypassing, where I just thought if I chanted love and light, then I am love and light.
Mhm,
Oh boy.
mm,
So a couple years later, I had a divorce.
mm,
And that brought me to my knees
yeah,
because, Winnie, if you are so love and light, then what does the data say? Right? I
mm,
always go back to what does the report card say about how much love and light is in your relationship? Because if you are as love and light as you say you are, why do you have a divorce?
mm,
So, this book I wrote after the divorce. So, about 1 year after the divorce, I wrote down all the ways of being, you know, all of my anger, shame, fear, drama queen, and scarcity victim, entitlement, manipulation, self centeredness, all the darkness that I had not taken responsibility for. And by writing this book, and because I'm a professor and I really, really love having a system, so I created top 10 shadows
Mm.
so that any readers can just buy the book and then systematically do the exercise at the end of every chapter to get a proper introduction of how you have all this darkness that are causing you blockages, right? Why you have breast cancer, why you have chronic UTI, right? Why you have receding hairline. Yeah, instead of thinking, oh, I don't know, stress, throw my hands up in the air and call it a day, is, well, no, I'm going to change my habit. I'm going to eat less chocolate and brush my teeth.
Wow, I'm excited to read it, because sometimes when I've been doing shadow work, it can be there are these moments where I want to be further along than I am with embracing and integrating the shadow, letting the shadow turn into gold. I see the pattern, and if I use metacognition and observe myself, well, if I have this, I must believe this. But again, kind of like with other things, sometimes you need another intervention, like the rituals and the practices that you would have in your book. So I'm thank you for sharing that. Thank you for creating it. I like that there is a system. We love systems, don't we? We are pattern seeking, and we evolve with patterns. We also devolve with patterns that are holding us back.
Yeah, so I want to speak about the structure and how this book helps you in two ways, where
Mm,
if you are just doing shadow work without the book, you're missing out.
mm,
The first is, I observe sometimes clients come to me, they have done talk therapy for 20 years and they still have anxiety.
mhm.
And so I love talk therapy, but the problem is when you have talk therapy, the client decides what topic to talk about.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
So it's like you have blind spots that you don't even consider,
Mm.
right? So the advantage, when I was planning a wedding, I work with a checklist, because what if I remember to buy the dress, but I forgot the cake? Or I remembered the cake, but I forgot the flowers. Or I remembered the flowers, but I forgot about the videographer, right?
Mhm.
Working with a checklist, ensure that you have covered all of your bases. And that's what this book is about. When you work with this book and there's a structure, you cover all your bases. It gives you a foundation, a groundwork, so that you're not just going in circles.
Mhm. Yeah.
You're not just perpetually stuck on anger, right? Okay, let's look at shame. Let's look at manipulation. Let's look at different topics.
Mhm.
And the second reason is because of the way the book is written with such vulnerability, where I'm literally talking about the hardest topics,
Yeah.
and, gaslighting,
Yeah.
and violence, abuse. Like, there are some really dark topics in there. So first of all, I think this should be an 18 plus book, but if you're over 18, that's good. But really, when we read somebody else's shadow work,
Mhm.
it gives us permission to go deeper, because, oh, all of a sudden, I'm not that dark, because look at her. Look at Winnie. She got some real darkness juicy over there, right? So it is our humanity that allows us to go deeper into the shadow work.
Mm.
It's almost like reading about my darkness gives you permission to own your darkness.
Mhm.
Right? Okay,
Yes.
so if somebody has 4 science degree, and she's a healer, bestseller, international speaker, and all these success, but she still have all the shadow, it gives you permission. Oh yeah, I'm just another normal human being. I
Mm.
have shadows too.
Yes, we all do. We're all normal human beings.
Yeah.
That's the that's the joke.
Yeah.
We think some are normal and some aren't. We're all normal human beings. I'm so excited about this book, everyone. Be sure I put in the comments and I'll update the show notes too, that you can find it on Amazon. Honoring Darkness, Embrace Shadow, Nourish. I see. What's the rest of it? What's the rest of the subtitle?
Yeah. Embrace shadow work to
Mhm.
nourish and grow your power.
That's beautiful. I love it. Winnie, what kind of services are you offering? You have the events you have events that are some very low cost and free. Are you doing one-on-one work? Is that how some of the healing and that's available?
Yeah, so I do a lot of one-on-one work, and what I'm really, really passionate about right now is doing couples work and
Mm,
family work.
mm, mm,
And it's kind of this concept, give what you want to get. So when I was going through challenges in my relationship, we went to 3 different couple counseling. And each time it was just at the mind level.
mhm,
It felt very much like me and my ex-husband standing in front of a judge. Is like he said, she said. And every time I left the session, I felt a little bit worse.
yeah.
And the same with family therapy. For a couple years, I had a teenager, and there was some challenges in communication between me and my teenage daughter. And I just felt like talk was hard precisely because at least one person in the relationship hasn't done the shadow work, right? So
Mm,
we don't want to take responsibility of our fear and our anger and how that is affecting our relationship.
mm,
So what me and my boyfriend, who's also a really awesome healer, we do is we do 2-on-2.
mm,
So this is such a great opportunity because we're actually, it's like, okay, if you have a boyfriend girlfriend issue, it's like there's somebody in there that understands the man, and there's somebody in there that understands the woman. This dynamic yin and yang and power dynamics. I mean, how many times do we wish so badly to have a relationship with our parents,
mm,
our children, our girlfriend, boyfriend, but there's a breakdown in communication, and we love them so much, but there just seems to be this giant blockage that we can't go through.
mm,
So where I am right now, of course, if you come to me with, cancer and other body blockages, I'm so happy to work with you one-on-one. But really what I really love working is having a team of healers work with a team of people so we can actually unpack the conflicts between couples within the family system. And this is the most sacred work that really truly brings joy to my heart.
Oh, it's wonderful. Wow. Thank you for doing that work on our beautiful world. And thank you to your boyfriend, too. Thank you. What's his name? Would you like to share his name?
Yes, Jay.
Hi, Jay. Thank you. I have to just point out you mentioned yin and yang, and that we showed up dressed in yin and yang. We're both wearing I'm wearing a white top, she's wearing a black top, and they're similar cuts. And and then we both have side ponies. I didn't even notice that until we were halfway through in side ponytails. We were really connecting before we got on the program. We were like, "Oh, we're gonna model one another and find a way to bring something together." So it's super fun. Well, Winnie, this has been just so enlightening. Thank you so much. I just want to highlight this comment here from Jonathan, who says, "It took a community to create a wound, and it takes a community to heal it." Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah, that's my
Beautiful.
boyfriend.
Oh, that's Jonathan? That's Jay.
Yeah, everybody say hi to Jay.
Hi, Jay. No wonder. Thank you for that. Thank you for talking to the fly too. Oh my gosh, I have to share. Every time I take a spider, usually they find their way in my bathroom and I take them out. I'm getting like a cup and a piece of paper and they're fighting me and I'm like, "No, you don't want to be in here. I'm going to go take you to where food is." And that does help them to go, "Okay, well I'll get in there safely then." So I have the same kind of experiences. Well, this has been so beautiful. I love connecting with you, and I'd love to have you back on sometime and continue to collaborate. Would you is there any last thing you want to share with everyone before we're going to take your light into our hearts and let it keep expanding? Anything else you'd like to tell us?
Yeah, so my website is mindfulhealingheart.com.
Mhm.
And from there, you can connect to my book and a range of low cost or free events. And I just want to say I live in Los Angeles,
Oh, me
actually,
too. I didn't know that.
Pasadena.
Oh,
And
I live in Burbank. I'm in Burbank, so we have
okay,
to get together.
yeah, so I think Trisha and I should get together and
Yeah.
have like girls' afternoon tea. And also welcome any of you who's visiting Los Angeles. I love people, I love hugs. So come if you're ever in LA, say hi to us.
Oh my gosh, seriously? Hang on, because after the show, because we're gonna conspire. We're gonna conspire because I have something fun coming up, and I want us to get together. Also, I haven't yet set this studio up to do in person since the shutdown. I've been intending to do that, so maybe next time you come on, then we'll be an in studio podcast event. So, everyone, this is Winnie Chan Wang. Really check out everything. I'm super excited about the book, and I appreciate you so much for coming on and shining your light in this space. Thank you. So, everyone, that's what we have for you in this episode. And like I said, I put down there the Amazon link for Winnie's book and her events. And I just want to encourage you to really be brave. I love this word encourage. Courage is the root of that word, the COUR. It's the Latin cœur, like the French word heart. Encourage to work, operate from the heart, to integrate the shadow and do some of this work that Winnie is providing for us, because that is the key. And there is gold in the shadow. It isn't traumatizing yourself more. It isn't a fearful experience. It's the moment that you open it up and you begin to shine light into shadow, it is getting better. It is healing. It is a beautiful and fulfilling experience. So be sure to check those show notes, like, subscribe, share, comment, click that little bell so you get notifications for the next time we are live, which is going to be Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, if not sooner. And check the show notes for the Easy Intuition and Meditation course that I have, and the Empowered Empath, and Animal Communication. So that's our episode. Thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.